Yes, yes, guys, we're back. Nuclear Reaction Faction reacting to the Brony Degenerates, which is a documentary by Turkey Tom. Go and check out his channel. I'll put the link in the description to the full video and let's get it.
My Little Pony is an instantly recognizable Hasbro franchise that's loved by millions. The brand, which now brings in hundreds of millions of dollars, dates all the way back to the 80s when its first pony toys launched. But it had a significantly different customer base back then than
Oh, wow, I actually forgot it was that old. Like, I remember growing up now, like, seeing them dolls.
it does now in the internet age. The most loyal MLP fans are no longer little girls who like horses, but adult men who like horses.
Whoa, yeah.
In a very different way. It's all because, in 2010, Hasbro launched the 4th generation of this beloved franchise, called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
My little pony, friendship is magic.
It, of course, featured plenty of merchandise aimed at young girls, but also a television show created by Lauren Faust, the wife of Craig McCracken, the creator.
I bet she had no idea where that was going to go, and I wonder how she feels about the fact that there's these degenerate adult males watching her cartoon.
Friendship is magic.
It, of course, featured plenty of merchandise aimed at young girls, but also a television show created by Lauren Faust, the wife of Craig McCracken, the creator of Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Wow.
Lauren had contributed to her husband's shows in the past, but this was her first show of her own. She was skeptical at first when Hasbro reached out to her, because the show could end up being nothing more than a shallow advertisement for their products. But she took the opportunity to try making a genuinely entertaining series for children. The show would end up being an undeniable success, but probably not in the way Hasbro expected it to be. It became a pop culture phenomenon, not just among children, but grown men on 4chan of all places.
Well, I'm wearing a purple Twilight Sparkle horn. The
Yeah, we can see, dude.
plushes I got at Walmart.
Who knows how they stumbled upon it? The best case scenario is that they were forced to watch the show while babysitting a younger cousin or something.
Which is disturbing, like, that they would be in a position to do that.
But however they came across it, what matters is they ended up really liking it. The phenomenon started on the comics and cartoons board, and it was mostly ironic at first.
No. This is going to have so much prawn. Considering that it's done by PPG and Foster's writer, we'll probably get the best girl cartoon ever. Whoa. Okay, that's a bit concerning.
Anyways, My Little Pony threads would eventually make their way onto other boards, with Anons posting pictures of characters like they would with anime girls. People who weren't into the show got fed up, and pony posters started being banned in February 2011. Moot, the creator of 4chan, and other 4chan mods, would start promoting Brony-owned 4chan websites and banning pony posters. These Bronies, a term which was coined just 2 weeks after the show first aired, fled across the internet, creating their own websites and invading others with their content.
Is that all it took? 2 weeks for these degenerates to get their hands on it and start drawing suggestive imagery of the cartoon? That is insane.
A year after all of these mass bannings, Moot would apologize and create /MLP, a board to contain all pony content. Some users thought it was a honeypot to catch and ban more bronies, but that was not the case. With this board came the creation of Global Rule 15, which states that no pony posting is allowed outside of /MLP, although it was already too late for such a measure, since pony content was now going viral across the internet. The fandom grew large enough to host conventions.
Is that Vitalik Buterin in there? Wait. That looks like Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum.
that brought in significant numbers of attendees.
I don't think it is, but like he does dress like a brony in real life.
By 2013, BronyCon boasted over 8,000 people.
What the hell? Some of those guys actually look like normal guys. I thought they were all going to look like the first guy with the flipping unicorn horn on his head. Like that could be any convention.
The fandom grew large enough to host conventions that brought in significant numbers of attendees. By 2013, BronyCon boasted over 8,000 people. That level of popularity continued to the very end of the show, with its last season airing in 2019. And that same year, the 11th and final BronyCon drew over 10,000 attendees.
Wow.
Twilight became an alicorn, which is a mix between a Pegasus and a unicorn.
Oh, dude. Not to get racial about it, yeah? I'm mixed race. I'm part Jamaican, and I feel like you're letting the side down, bro, with this whole brony thing.
continued to the very end of the show, with its last season airing in 2019, and that same year, the 11th and final BronyCon drew over 10,000 attendees.
Twilight became an alicorn, which is a mix between a Pegasus and a unicorn, and I really felt like the season was over, that we were done. And when they confirmed that we're going to have season 4, I lost it. I was ecstatic.
Dude, come on, man. You're more sensible than that, surely. See, this guy right here, yeah, I can see being into it, but the other guy just looks like a normal dude.
I told my mom, and she's like, what? They're like, I like ponies. And she's like, okay.
But bronies are an inherently divisive species.
Dude, if I had my only son or any son was a brony, I would be disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'd disown them, but I'd kind of offer to pay for him to go and see a shrink.
Most people instinctively find it weird for grown men to have an interest in a show for little girls.
Anything that, like, what is it with sexualizing, like, kids content and kids in general nowadays? Like, oh man, it's disgusting where we're heading.
Especially with a title as unambiguously infantile as Friendship is Magic. Some people are more open-minded towards others' bizarre interests, but that tolerant attitude only goes so far. You see, bronies aren't just peculiar, but in a few cases, they're outright depraved. When the community expanded from the outskirts of 4chan into the mainstream internet, any semblance of irony, if it was ever truly there, was lost. It attracted people who were genuinely into horses, and I do mean into horses. If you scratch the slightest bit below the surface of the brony fandom, you will unearth an astonishing amount of pony pornography. There is even terminology for it. When a brony is masturbating to MLP porn, he is clopping, a reference to how equines have hooves. There is even a Wikipedia page for it, believe it or not. Not to be confused with pawing off or yiffing, which is what furries call it when they're whacking it. On a side note, I just did an MRI and found I have stage 4 brain cancer from learning about these things. So I hope this video really pays off.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm gonna have a grand mal seizure already.
Even Lauren Foster herself, the show's creator, ventured onto the MLP board on occasion, and had this to say about it. I don't come often, some unsettling stuff is here, but sometimes I'll put on my armor and come over. I've seen some of the most thoughtful critiques here. You know, unsettling is pretty generous, considering there is not 1, not 2, but 5 academic studies conducted on those who are a little too into animated ponies, along with multiple journalistic articles documenting the millennial propensity to clop. Today, we'll explore just how deep this...
You're letting the side down, man. I'm a millennial. Like, I'm not being funny and I'm not trying to be offensive, yeah, but I expect this sort of stuff more from the younger generations, yeah, but like... From like millennial, come on, man, come on.
Rabbit hole of degeneracy goes. The highlights, if you can.
If there's one thing you'd like to finally just myth.
I do, obviously, because I haven't got YouTube Premium, but I do actually review adverts, like on my short videos and on long format videos. So let's see how good this advert is.
Fast about medical cannabis or cannabis as a whole, what would it be?
It's legal in the UK.
Since 2018.
Okay, that's very short, simple, straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, man. Most people don't know that, but you can get medical license in the UK. It's actually relatively easy. You just got to go through private clinics and pay a fee. But yeah, no, that's interesting. It's a good advert.
Call it that, of the brony fandom.
The shorter and simpler an advert, the better. And yeah, that was really good.
Because animation content on YouTube has become so large, making videos criticizing animation YouTube has become a genre in its own right, and even I was a part of it at one point. Whether that's criticizing the animators from the Storytime community themselves, or just making fun of animation reviewers and critics like the mysterious Mr. Enter, or the now retired Digibro.
What the hell does Mr. Enter mean? That sounds disturbing.
Currently known as YGG Studio. In a similar fashion, a fair amount of creators in the brony fandom got popular reviewing and discussing My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and other pony-related topics, and they were commonly referred to as the brony analysis community. This is where infamous creator Digibro got his start, where he, now she, was still known as Digibrony MLP.
This episode strongly supports my theory that the ponies are teenagers. You see, I've always been a little bit confused about Rainbow Dash's status as an exceptional flyer.
But she's not the topic of discussion today. The man of the hour is Zach Kays, better known online as Toon Critic Y2K, who is a creator in this scene. Zach created his YouTube channel on May 3rd, 2012, right when the Brony community was skyrocketing in popularity. From a niche 4chan subculture to a full-blown fandom in its own right. Zach's content has pretty much been wiped off the face of the internet, and the story of his career isn't super well documented. The Internet Archive doesn't seem to have much either, so it's hard to find out when he got popular and which of his videos got him the most attention. From the few archives that do exist, we know that in 2014 he had garnered over 3,000 subscribers, and in 2015 he was making $170 per written review or vlog on Patreon. We also know that by
how many subscribers did he get?
Zach's content has pretty much been wiped off the face of the internet, and the story of his career isn't super well documented. The Internet Archive doesn't seem to have much either, so it's hard to find out when he got popular and which of his videos got him the most attention. From the few archives that do exist, we know that in 2014 he had garnered over 3,000 subscribers, and in 2015 he was making $170 per written review or
That's really good money for an article, especially for an amateur. I used to get paid $100 to write an article, and that's pretty good, especially considering I could like poop it out in about 2 hours.
Blog on Patreon. We also know that by 2017, he had 17,000 subscribers, but often struggled to break 1,000 views a video. Now, going by those numbers, it's evident that Zach just didn't achieve the same level of success as creators like I Love Kimpossible a Lot and Josh Scorcher. However, he was well connected with other Brony creators, and apparently he was a part of a big Skype group called the Rift Cafe, which describes itself as a collaborative storyline made up by the Brony analysis community. Basically, a crowdsourced, collaborative, self-insert fanfic. We get some more details about Toon from his page on the Rift Cafe wiki, such as an illustration of his steampunk neckbeard pony Sona, and a description of his edgelord alter ego, Cartoons, which seems exactly like the kind of thing a Brony would find cool. Take this excerpt from the wiki. On one fateful day, Toon chose to create Cartoons for a small joke, but during the showdown against Thunder Blight,
Wait, is this written by himself? If so, this is so even more cringe than it could possibly ever be.
Gibbon was attacked by a beam and Cartoons took a physical form. But this Cartoons was different. He was vicious and attacked people, and he took delight in every second of it. Eventually, Cartoons defeated Toon in a debate and took over his channel. He then proceeded to systematically attack other reviewers, such as Lightning Bliss and Golden Fox, in an attempt to psychologically break them.
Wow.
Apparently, his alter ego, Cartoons, took over his channel from time to time to terrorize others in the Brony analysis community.
That's a bit convenient.
I gotta say, I appreciate his dedication to the LARP grind. Anyway, because of his involvement in the community and the fact he obtained minor E fame, known in the Brony fandom as horse fame, really creative with that one, guys, he would get to take part in popular group projects, such as a series called TF2 Analysis. It's a strange crossover in which various creators from the community interact with each other in the world of the Valve game Team Fortress 2. But
No. Really? Team Fortress 2 meets no, what the hell happened there? That is some spawn of Satan.
Character is a pony. Apparently, it has an ongoing story and lore, and the first episode somehow has 500,000 views.
1. I am the prettiest unicorn. 2. My mane is lustrous and fragrant and catches the wind perfectly. Therefore, I am going to trot into the forest and pick each and every one of you maggots an arrangement of flowers.
There are over 150 of these animations.
Wow, is that supposed to be like in the style of a drill instructor? I don't know what you call it in the US, where like you got those officers shouting at new army recruits. That's what it sounds like.
With new ones being uploaded to this very day. I have quite literally zero idea what is going on in any of these, but I guess I haven't had my skull crushed by a hydraulic press of children's cartoons sufficiently enough to understand it.
Yeah, bro, Tom, you're just not a cultured man. You're just not cultured enough, man. Like, you're not sophisticated enough. I thought you were a scholar. This is important stuff we're dealing with here, bro. This is art. This is like the magnum opus of humanity.
Despite the fact that Zach would seem to have the mind of an infant, his behavior towards others was anything but innocent. In a video by YouTuber Vita, he discusses allegations that surfaced of Zach repeatedly groping women at Brony conventions and getting away with it because he had horse fame. I guess this is his version of the Trump grab him by the pussy moment, but without the they let you do it caveat.
The two most noteworthy ones I was around to witness are the time when he groped Kitty's ass at BronyCon in the vendor hall when she was standing right by her boyfriend, likely since he didn't expect her to make a scene in a public location, and when he was dating Kelly, who is asexual and has a great fear of that level of intimacy. Toon tried to coerce her into sending him naked photos anyways and planned on getting her to sleep with him at a future convention. Basically really scummy shit.
It's disturbing that being a mere micro-celebrity in a scene as inane and irrelevant as the Brony fandom can still help you get away with murder off of what little clout you have, but I digress. After these two instances were brought up by Vita, another person testified in the comments to having been groped by him.
Wait, let's read those comments. Tom doesn't have enough time in his videos to read everything because he packs so much information into them. But because I'm doing part series, I can spend a bit more time.
Off of what little clout you have, but I digress.
So my friend was... I'm going to be careful of what I actually say because I want these videos to be monetized in the future. My friend was by him at a con too. This whole thing is up. I don't like using the Lord's name in vain. I'm not even being facetious like I'm a Christian. It's up beyond belief, especially how long he's been able to get away with it. Yeah, so the community's degenerate enough. So like, I'm not surprised that he got away with stuff like that because you're dealing with some whack jobs here.
These two instances were brought up by Vita. Another person testified in the comments to having been groped by him. Most people don't even remember the groping allegations though, because ultimately it was small compared to the heinous nature of other of Zach's misdeeds. In 2018, over 500 screenshots surfaced, which showed Zach sexting a girl, beginning when she was just 14 years old, while he was already a whopping 24 years old.
No, what is it with these guys, bro? Like, what is it with these, like, these obscure, like, cult-like followings and...
A full decade older. At the start of their interactions, he began doing roleplays with her, and in one of these abhorrent sessions, which I'll spare you the details of, he said, "It's just so exciting knowing you're barely legal."
No.
After many such exchanges, he whipped out some textbook grooming language to try to escalate things beyond just role.
He's even doing the fedora, like, gentleman tip of the hat thing there. Like, can it get any more cringe? I'm sure Tom's gonna bring it forward. Oh no.
As each other's character, and into a personal relationship with her. Well, here's the thing. I'm not asking to be in a relationship with you. When I said go further, I mean a step further than just role-playing and teasing, because you are too young to start a relationship.
Oh, but like old enough to RP with and like do things in real life, because what else does he mean by take things a step further than RPing and teasing? Like, it doesn't really get further than that unless you're starting to get physical. So not only is he like grooming like an underage chick, he's not only doing that, he's like, I
want to explore those other kinds of feelings, more so on the romantic side. Do you get what I'm saying? I want you to know this is all okay, and I want to help you understand all of this, but only if you want to go a little further.
That is textbook grooming, that is flipping horrendous.
He said other things along these lines, continuing to acknowledge just how young she was in comparison to him, though continuously not taking it seriously in consideration, disregarding even her hesitation about it. Zach, is it weird that I'm attracted to you? Girl, like in what way, if I may ask? Zach, okay, like attracted in the mental and emotional sense.
I hope to God this is a decoy and not a real lass.
Girl, hey, I'm flattered really. It's just that, for one thing, the 10-year difference, man, XD, and just, I think you're a really great friend. Zach, yeah, 10-year difference, XD. He then tried to arrange a way to meet with her in the real world.
I've tried to stop using that XD emoticon, yeah, like, because I used to use that all the time when I was growing up, because it was just like, I don't know, like, it's cute, it's funny, but I've noticed through watching Turkey Tom videos that is the go-to laughing my ass off or lolling for creeps. So it's really put me off using it.
Showing just how sick his true intentions were. Girl. Also, a random little thing I also realized, if you're serious about what we can get away with, if I was ever able to meet you in real life via con or any other visit, you'd technically take my first kiss in that regard. Zach.
Oh my word.
Oh, how so? Girl. Well, I do remember you saying that you wanted to do something like that some time ago, if it's ever possible for me to go to a con, which I'm praying for at this point, XD, and me being completely alright with it. Don't think I'd forget that kind of stuff, XD. Zach, fair enough. I think it'd be pretty interesting having you all to myself in a hotel. hotel
What?
room. Girl,
No, wait, whoa. I thought I got mixed up with who was saying what. Wait, let me start again. Oh
at this
no.
point, XD, and me being completely alright with it. Don't think I'd forget that kind of stuff, XD. Zach, fair enough. I think it'd be pretty interesting having you all to myself.
Wait, let me read that. This is degenerate, mate. Also, a little random thing I realised. If you're serious about what we can get away with, if I was ever able to meet you in real life via con or any other visit, you take. Also, well, I do remember you saying that you would wanted to do something like that some time ago. If it was ever possible for me to go to a con, which I'm praying, he's literally praying to meet this prey, and me being completely alright with it. I don't think I'd forget that kind of stuff. Fair enough. I think it'd be pretty interesting to have you all to myself and
hotel room. Girl, I must admit that you're making me morbidly curious on what you would do if that scenario were to come. Zach, do you actually want to know? Imagine the role plays we've done. He also tried to solicit CP from her in a roundabout way by asking her to try underwear modeling. Zach, would you ever consider modeling? Girl, funny enough, you're not the first person who has said that to me, XD. Zach, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable before. Girl, you didn't? Don't worry, man. I didn't feel uncomfortable at any point. What makes you say that? Zach, about the curiosity of modeling in underwear. Girl, oh, don't worry. I know you didn't have any ill intent. I trust you like that. Unless you did have actual ill intent. Zach, of course not. I think it would be interesting to see you try that. Private, I mean. Girl, I don't know if I'll pull it off personally. I think I'll just stick with what I'm confident with wearing for now. Zach, life's all about taking chances. You'd have nothing to lose. You already have the curves. In the same conversation, he comments on her physical features, and you can probably guess the gist of what was said.
Oh my gosh, that is textbook grooming right there.
But in December 2017, he supposedly realized what he was doing was wrong. After 13 months of grooming this girl, he claims he came to his senses, though it's more than likely he was exclusively worried about getting caught. Girl, oh, so you were uncomfortable with what we've been doing previously? Zach, no, I just want to take a break from it. Something didn't feel quite right. Girl, I'm curious what you mean by that, but if you don't want to tell me, I won't pry. Zach, up until recently, I thought this was just for fun, but then I realized I'm doing this with a 15-year-old. Yeah, I gave one of my friends flack for doing this exact same thing. When all of this came to light, the other bronies in the community who he had been collaborating with confronted him. In January 2018, they had a 35-minute Skype call in which he admitted to the accusations levied against him.
Right, let me read that. It's good that like we're able to go through and read in more detail when we break up these parts of Tom's videos. Well, I say good. That's like a subjective word. Well, that honestly surprised me when I saw you say that. I never expected anything like this, really. But I will be entirely honest with you. Yes, I am sure. I trust you. If you are, then I'll just come clean. I'm trying to figure out the rest of it if you don't mind. Well, can I help you figure out that he's
When all of this came to light, the other bronies in the community who he had been collaborating with confronted him. In January 2018, they had a 35-minute Skype call in which he admitted to the accusations levied against him.
You know you're doing something wrong if you've got a bunch of degenerates like pulling you up on something. Like with the Cyrax video, he had the juggalo community like at his like biting his head off. Like that's saying something. And like bronies like biting your head off, that's saying something too.
Not only that, he claims he has done worse things than this.
We know that we have a lot of solid evidence and concrete proof that you are, or at least what you have done, is pedophilia.
Wow.
You have asked for photos of her in nothing but a leather jacket and panties.
No.
You have sent her pictures of your crotch only covered in boxers.
No.
You've sent her porn. You've done a lot of bad.
Wait, that last one, like I think I'm not sure, but I think like he can probably get away with the underwear stuff. But that last one, sending her explicit material, like actual nudity, I'm pretty sure that's a crime. Shouldn't he be punished for that? Surely.
There have been times where I admit I have done things that are probably worse than this. In fact, I can safely say that this is one of the worst things that I've ever done. But there have been worser.
Zach also admits to grooming another underage girl years prior to this incident, and that, in that case, the police got involved.
What does it say about the community if he feels comfortable enough to like not just admit what they're accusing him of, but say that he's done worse? Like, what does that say about like the community that he feels comfortable enough to do that? This community reminds me of furries, man.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Okay, what's going on here? Like, can anyone tell me what's going on?
Okay.
Yes.
So,
British.
do you want me to begin?
Yeah, you get to begin.
Okay, so Toon, we're going to preface all of this with you're in trouble. And this is going to be, a group talk so that we can discuss what we think you need to do and give you a chance to defend yourself. Essentially, we know everything that you've been doing with Pastel over the last year, since November of 2016.
Okay.
And whether you meant to or not, or thought you could get away with it?
I wasn't what? No. Why that? First off, you guys know me. Like, that's not the type of person that I am. That's not the type of person.
You just admitted that that's the type of person you are, bro. Like, what?
You've known me for years. That's not the case. I admit, yes, I've done some pretty stupid things, and yes, this is probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. But people should know me well enough to know that I don't do this kind of stuff like with intention to hurt.
Bro, that means nothing. That means nothing. Like, what? That means absolutely nothing. You still did the thing.
The point.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, Zach.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a really good verse from the Bible. I like that.
These people are your
Hey, guess what?
Okay, here
I
we
just
go.
got
Another
my free
advert.
Love Honey toy, and so can you. Just click on the link, enter your email address, and in minutes you'll get a free toy or gift voucher. What are you waiting for?
That's a really good advert. Like, really, really short, really simple. They've got the Trustpilot reviews down there. It's really clean advertising, really chilled, good music, but the music is still driving and engaging. The fonts look good. The lass is pretty, but not too pretty to make it look artificial and fake. Yeah, very good.
family. They've helped you through so much. And
I
you
know.
took a giant shit on them.
I wasn't trying to do that.
I know.
But that's the
I
thing.
know.
But the fact remains, Zach, that you did it, and you had, and what this all is just.
Yeah.
We're at this point we're just repeating ourselves, but you need to face the music. All right.
We've told you everything we're going to tell you, essentially. It's up to you now, really. You have 24 hours. You can go to the police, or you can do whatever the hell you want. Quite frankly, I don't care.
Despite this, it seems that no legal action was taken against Zach, unfortunately. Over the course of the Skype call, Zach didn't do much to defend himself, and admitted he was wrong, but he tried to downplay his actions by claiming he was in a bad place and pretending he regretted having groomed multiple minors, though he probably only regretted being caught.
Oh, I just realised, no, it would be illegal him sending underwear pictures and getting her, soliciting underwear pictures from her, because that's grooming and that's illegal, isn't it? So, how is he not locked up? I don't get it.
Excuses. I'm not going to do much really other than say I was in a bad place and I made.
Oh, that's what they all say, bro. I was in a bad place. I was lonely. Oh, she's more mature than what her age was. Oh, she looks older than what she does. There's no excuse, dude. Like, nothing.
Bad decisions. I'm really fucking sorry about all this.
No, you're not. I could hear the disingenuous, like whatever you want to call it, in his voice. Listen to that again. He is not sorry at all. He's just sorry that he got caught.
No excuses. I'm not.
He's sorry for himself.
Going to do much really other than say I was in a bad place and I made bad decisions. I'm really fucking sorry about all this.
No, do you hear how his voice inflected up then? That's a lie.
I got involved in the wrong type of thing. I really screwed up on that part.
Saying you're sorry isn't enough. You have to say you're really sorry. It's actually in the Constitution that if you say that and make puppy eyes and touch the tips of your indexes together, like Hinata, the cops have to let you go on the spot. It's like the secret menu. but for getting away with grooming. To close off the interaction, his now former friends gave him 24 hours to turn himself in and leave the community of his own volition. However, after the 24-hour period, they would still give all the information to the police themselves as well. He didn't seem too distraught about all this until he realized his career as professional Brony web celebrity was essentially over. This is because it's widely accepted that Zach's work as Toon Critic Y2K wasn't very good, and the numbers we went over before from the few archives that exist reflects that fact. Toon's career depended on his relationships with those around him, collaborating with bigger creators, and riding on the coattails of their success. Now that they were not only disavowing him, but trying to get him arrested, we knew his stint of horse fame had met its well overdue demise. At some point in the next few days, the call would be leaked. The story would go public on the Brony drama news site, Horse News, on the 24th of February.
There's a Brony drama news site. Oh my word.
And the call would be leaked on the 26th. Further details would only make the situation worse, such as screenshots
I don't even want to read these screenshots, to be honest.
Of Zach defending pedophilia on Skype, despite—
Oh, okay, we're gonna have to, aren't we? I don't think me conversing with— I've got to be careful what I say, though. I don't think me conversing with you guys is going to do anything or not. I'm still looking for a lawyer in all this. Yeah, you do need a lawyer, son. Look, if you are innocent, like I said, I will help you, but you need to tell me you are, or something here, mate. I will say this, the screen caps, if you have seen them, are not fake. I believe this whole entire story is being twisted in a way to make me— Bro, there's no twisting to make this look bad. It is bad. What? No, he's not using the Philippines as an excuse. No, 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 no. No.
Facts that he said he wasn't trying to make excuses for what he did during the call. He wrote, "I will say this. These screen caps, if you have seen them, are not—
The Philippines is a third world country, bro. Like, you can't compare, like, at all.
Not fake. I believe this whole—
And then not even just that. Like, even if it is a third world country, like, it's no excuse. Like, there clearly should be laws against this. Like, for instance, the age of consent here in the UK is 16. That is too young. Like, 18, I understand, yeah? Like, because you're legally an adult. Yeah, I get it. I understand. But like, even like a 30, 40-year-old being with someone who's 18, I find extremely, extremely creepy, to be honest with you. Like, it's just a personal opinion. And it's just disgusting to think, yeah, that a 90-year-old bloke can rock up to a school and pick up his girlfriend, like, legally in the UK. That is just—
entire story is being twisted in a way to make me look bad. Age of consent laws in the Philippines are 12, from what I was told.
I've learned that really trying to explain things doesn't really change much because people—
No, because there's no explaining your behavior.
People just think it's an excuse, and I'm not really going to try to make any excuses because there is no excuse. What else am I really supposed to say here? Like,
it's not what you got to say. It's what you got to do or not do, son. Like, you need to just flip and get a psycho. You need to— there's words I want to say. There's things I want to say, and I just can't, like, because I'll get in trouble. But like, dude, sort your act out. Seriously.
I honestly don't know.
If the story was twisted, it sure didn't take a lot of twisting after all, considering he brought up the age of consent being 12 in the Philippines as if it justified what he did. One of the worst cases of CP ever documented came from the Philippines. How would that be a good thing? He literally said it's not pedophilia if he has Filipino boy swag. I wouldn't have been surprised if he pulled a Goodfellas and said he was a maid Brony, and they weren't. By the way, they recently raised the age of consent in the Philippines to 16. So what he did—
16 is still too young, man. Like, let me put it this way, yeah. Like, in the United States, yeah, I don't know if it's a federal law or what, or just majority state laws, but you have to be 21 years old to drink alcohol in the States, yeah. So why is it you can consent to sex at 18, but you can't drink alcohol until you're 21? It's because, like, the reason you can't drink alcohol till you're 21 is because you're still immature when you're 18. Like, you're still, like, and plus your brain is still forming until you're, like, in your mid-20s. So, like, you're not mature yet. You're not mature enough to drink alcohol. So really and truly, the age of consent should be higher than 18, in my opinion. Like, that's just my opinion. But, like, it's a complex issue because then you've got, like, you've got like say something along the lines of a 18-year-old dating a 17-year-old, which would technically be illegal, but they're only 1 year apart. They're still the same age. So I know it's not easy to regulate and legislate things like this, but there's just clearly a moral issue, if not a legal issue, with this sort of
It
thing.
would still be illegal, even if he lived there, which it seems he thought would be ideal. Meanwhile, his Skype profile
Sorry guys, sometimes my internet
blatantly
lags.
displays that he lives in Illinois, where the age of consent is 17. His interactions with this girl, dubbed Sally, were the main focus at first.
Oh, and not only that, what makes it even worse in the UK,
but shortly after,
sorry, I accidentally pressed play again. To go on a rant, because this issue is really sensitive to me, like from personal experience, like, and also from like friends who have gone through stuff. So there was a judge, and a female judge at that, in the UK, if you can believe it, who said that the age of consent should be lowered to 13. 13. And the current Prime Minister, he has been quoted as saying that, to paraphrase badly, that girls under the age of 16 can consent. And that not all pedos should go to, we call them pedos in the UK, not all pedos should go to jail. Like, what the hell is going on? They're normalizing this stuff in the world and society. This is like, honestly, yeah, I'm not going to lie, there's going to be a P added to the alphabetic expression, like, you know, LGBTQP. There's going to be a P and there's going to be a B added to it as well. Just wait, mark my words.
Another girl dubbed Abby would come out with screen.
And just to clarify, I am not slating the LGBTQ community at all. I'm just saying, like, they're already trying to excuse pedos, yeah? They're already trying to say, like, yeah, they were born like that, yeah, which they may have been, but that is no excuse whatsoever. They were born like that. Oh, they just have an addiction. Oh, this, that, they were abused themselves when they were younger, which is true in a lot of cases. But you cannot excuse this stuff, let alone normalize it, let alone legalize it. Like, things are going a really twisted, dark way down the world, and it is, it's really unsettling.
Shots showcasing the exact same behavior from Toon, claiming he wasn't going to creep on this girl, then launching straight into sexual role plays. Toon's group of close friends who were working on taking him down apparently didn't even know about this other victim until her information went public. Because of how extensive his crimes were, attention was also drawn towards Toon's now former friend group, and many claimed they were responsible for letting him get away with this pattern of behavior for years. During the confrontation call, people felt they were being too nice to a pedophile whose crimes had already been confirmed. The most notable creators voicing these opinions were Lily Pete and the previously mentioned Vita.
Josh and Ninja are the ones who speak to Zach the most, and you can see two very different approaches from both of them. British Ninja is a total boss and is simply not having any of Zach's shit. While he lets Zach explain his actions, it's clear that the explanation is merely a courtesy, and he has no intention of believing him. He calmly and rationally explains to Toon exactly what's going to happen as a result of his behavior. Meanwhile, Josh is constantly apologizing, repeating how much he doesn't want to do this, and talking about how big of a bone they're trying to throw Zach in spite of all of this, and treating him with the biggest kid gloves he possibly can.
In fact, many Brony content creators would release videos giving their thoughts on the situation.
Look at that dude with the fedora tip of the hat and that. Oh man, it's so cringe.
A good portion of them being Zach's former friends disavowing him. One of these videos was by Josh Scorcher, who is one of the main figures confronting Toon on Skype. In the video, Josh explains what happened and responds to criticisms of his handling of the controversy. He explains that they tried keeping this story silent at first for multiple reasons. One being that they didn't want Toon to know what they were up to and start preemptively building up allies to take his side. Instead, they wanted to slowly turn everyone against him.
As people shared their testimony, it came to light that Toon would likely try to find people sympathetic to him to get his side of the story and try to frame himself as a victim. We realized we had to get to everyone else first, so we kept it silent until his closest friends, associates, and colleagues knew about it. We weren't going to let him try to talk to people to smooth things over and jeopardize everything. In the end, we were successful to the point where the only people who would claim his innocence were his family.
Josh claims.
So, that guy appeared to me to be being honest. Like, I think, yeah, like usually I do body language interpretation and speech analysis on my other channel for true crime content. And from what I can tell, he is telling the truth there, that guy. Let's see what he was actually saying. Let me see that again. I can't pick up on any non-verbal cues or verbal cues that he's lying.
One of these videos was by Josh Scorcher, who is one of the main figures confronting Toon on Skype. In the video, Josh explains what happened and responds to criticisms of his handling of the controversy. He explains that they tried keeping this story silent at first for multiple reasons. One being that they didn't want Toon to know what they were up to and start preemptively building up allies to take his side. Instead, they wanted to slowly turn everyone against him.
As people shared their testimony, it came to light that Toon would likely try to find people sympathetic to him to get his side of the story and try to frame himself as a victim. People who were still physically ill when the video was leaked, and the stress caused them to get worse and to hurt more. Then, some of us were bombarded with accusations, insults, and anger when we were hurt too, and we were still healing.
This guy seems quite normal for a brony, man. Like, what?
Several people who were on the verge of completely healing are back to square one because they're being accused of things that they aren't responsible for.
There were some other reasons too. They didn't want the victim's name to be out there and forever attached to this scandal. They also wanted to get these stories straight beforehand to make sure misinformation and gossip didn't spread, to get police reports ready, and to not interfere with a criminal investigation.
Wow, okay, by the sounds of it, I'm no legal expert, but by the sounds of it, they handled this really, really well, like as well as they could have, like I think, like from what I can tell.
Despite this, there were still concerns as, regardless of what was planned regarding Zach's criminality, it does not seem that he's facing charges. A lot of people were angry at Josh and fellow creator Dr. Wolf, specifically for talking about forgiveness regarding Toon, but Josh said it was all just a misunderstanding.
Believe it or not, I've seen nearly every video and read almost every comment disparaging me and my associates for how the situation was handled. Dr. Wolf recently put out a video concerning
Across America, predicting the outcome of the big game just got a whole lot more interesting. Because with Crypto.com Sports, you can make your predictions about the results.
No, gambling adverts are absolutely abhorrent and disgusting and should be illegal. Gambling addiction is as bad as any other addiction. Like, people sell their houses from underneath their kids' and their wives' feet just to bet in Las Vegas, yeah, or wherever, yeah. Like, absolutely no, they shouldn't have, like, in the UK, we haven't had cigarette adverts for a long time, and we haven't had, I think they can get away with alcohol adverts, they've just got to say drink responsibly, but gambling and alcohol adverts should absolutely be illegal in my opinion. I'm skipping that. I'm not even going to give that advert a review because just the whole premise of like gambling adverts is disgusting. I don't know if you guys, like, a lot of you guys will be aware either through personal experience, like I've had a gambling problem in the past. I used to trade crypto with high leverage, 125 times leverage, which is gambling. And I know people who have gone down a dark gambling path, and it's, look, yeah, there's these gambling, like our versions of mini casinos in the UK, right? And the people you see coming out of those places look like drug addicts because they don't look after themselves because they spend all their money on gambling, and it's just a sad state of affairs, man.
Forgiveness, and understandably, quite a sizable number of people got angry with it. There was a dramatic failure to communicate about what we meant when we said forgiveness, and we take full responsibility for it.
According to him, they meant it in a Christian sense. They wanted Zach to face consequences, however, they didn't also want him to be treated with cruelty, and were talking about letting go of anger, as they were also trying to help victims and former friends heal regarding what happened. There was one creator.
Okay, that's kind of put me off them now. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a Christian, yeah, and I try and forgive people, but when it comes to like grooming and SA in general, no matter what the age, I personally can't forgive that. I just can't. Like, I'm gonna have to leave the video at that because it's probably about half hour, 40 minutes long now. I want to keep it as short as possible for brevity's sake. And yeah, you've been locked into Nuclear Reaction Faction. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.